What's up, you guys? Middle Grandma here. I'm playing Battlefield 4 because this is going to be about Battlefield Hardline coming out March 17th, 2015. Alright, before we get into it, I'd like to talk about Battlefield. I've been playing ever since Battlefield 2 on the PC, and that was when I was like really little, so I have a lot of experience with the game, how to play it. It's very fun, but recently there's been a couple of things that have been worrying me, and it's just each year it seems like the games are getting not really fully developed, and that's my fear with Battlefield Hardline, is that this will be even worse than Battlefield 4, because I'm gonna list all of my concerns about this game coming out. And starting off with the biggest concern of all is the gameplay. How will the gameplay play compared to other Battlefields? Will it be different? Will it be the same game? I know from the beta, a lot of people say it's the same, but that was the beta, so I'm not too sure. I'm hoping they would change up something or like that. I mean, if you love the way it plays now, that's fine, but right now it just seems like it's gonna be a copy and paste game, because a lot of people are calling it DLC for Battlefield 4, which is another big concern of mine coming out with Battlefield Hardline. Another concern of mine is the graphics of Battlefield Hardline. I looked at the beta and they look, if not even better than Battlefield 4. They did not really improve whatsoever. To me, that's a real big letdown, because if you're going to release a sequel or start off on a new type of game instead of military or anything, and try and introduce a new type of style to the Battlefield franchise, why not put effort into the graphics and lure people in instead of just posting shitty graphics on a game? To me, that shows a lot about the developers and EA itself as a company publishing it, is that they're slowly thinking that, well, that did not make sense. They're thinking that it's, a lot of people are just going to go ahead and buy the game because it's labeled Battlefield on it, and that's terrible to do to your fans or the people that buy the game off of you, because they're spending their good hard money on a game that's not even finished or was any effort was put into it. And that's kind of like how Call of Duty is. I did like Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare did take a step up from the previous Ghost, which was probably the worst Call of Duty ever made. But with that being, you shouldn't even do that to the people that spend their money on the game that you make, because once you release something good and then put something out that's even worse than the last thing, people aren't going to play that new product of yours. They're going to stay on the game that they thought was the best, which is why a lot of people still play Battlefield 3. In my opinion, Battlefield 3 was probably the best Battlefield, because it just, the trailers got me hyped up for it. It looked so good playing it. The graphics were just amazing. And it just kept me playing for hours upon hours, and that's what a Battlefield game should do. It should make you feel like you never want to leave the game, because it's so gripping, and it makes you want to play more. Another concern of mine is the story to the campaign. Now, a lot of people don't really care about the campaign much. They only buy Battlefield for the multiplayer, and that's fine. I mean, if that's what you go for, then that's all good. But to me, I still like to play a game with some story in it, instead of just buying a disc to play online. But with the story switching up, going from military to cops and robbers, it just seems like they should put more emphasis on the campaign, because I mean, why not? It's starting off a new theme for the game, and it wouldn't make sense if the campaign was lousy. It didn't make sense at all, because here you have, I keep stuttering, I am so sorry. They've basically shown some missions of the gameplay on campaign, and what I've seen right now is that they introduced a lot of gadgets. You can handcuff people, you can taser them, and that's very cool. But along with that, they can put all the gameplay they want, but still the story can still be bad. I mean, in the videos they've introduced some characters I might be interested in, but at the same time, I just don't know where they'll go in the story. Kind of like how Battlefield 4 story was. I really wasn't digging into the characters. I mean, I liked Irish, but that was it. All the other characters were just lousy. The plot wasn't really all that good. I mean, I didn't expect a Battlefield campaign to be a major storyline great hit, but whatever. Those are more for the bad companies, I believe, because they have characters that you can, I guess, maybe relate to, but yeah, they're more gripping and appealing. Another concern of mine is lags and glitches. We all know when Battlefield 4 released that, oh my god, you cannot find a game in the multiplayer whatsoever. There was just glitches, lags everywhere. The game was broken, and a lot of people spent their hard-earned money on the game, which sucks. And I wish EA would not have done that, or else they wouldn't be in the position they're in right now. Because when companies do that, people aren't going to be as stupid as they were the first time to buy the broken game. They're going to be cautious. They're going to not really invest their money into the game through pre-orders. They're going to wait until the game drops prices, and they're just going to buy the game when it's actually about $40, maybe even $30. And that's basically digging yourself a hole if you're trying to sell a game. If you screw somebody over the first time, then they're not going to fall for it again, because what I've read is that the pre-orders for Hardline are down because of bad reviews on the beta, and it's showing something that EA may mess up again on the new Battlefield game. But that was the beta, so I'm not going to go ahead and judge off of that. It's just the betas are a good example of what the thing could actually look like. So, well, especially with Battlefield. But moving on with more concerns of mine, bad connection and terrible servers. Kind of like with lags and stuff like that, what I just talked about. As soon as Battlefield 4 released, the servers were terrible, and if you ever got into a lobby, you probably would never even find a lobby, because the connections were terrible, the lobbies were unbalanced, and everything was a total wreck. So I would hate to see that happen in the new Battlefield Hardline coming out. Another thing that EA is widely known for, pushing DLC before the game is even really released, because this also happened with Battlefield 4, I forget if it happened with Battlefield 3 or not. You were allowed to buy the DLC before the game even came out, so I guess people actually did do that and spent more money on the game just through DLC. Yeah, that's another way just to rip off people, because the game's not even finished and they're already trying to make add-ons to the game to buy before the game released. And also, I think this is my last concern with the Battlefield Hardline. This actually has something to do with the game instead of Battlefield 4 and previous games. The vehicles in multiplayer, what I've heard is that they don't really have as much armor as the vehicles in the previous Battlefields. And I think on a YouTube video, I think it was BDobbinsFTW, he put this in one of his videos. He said that you could literally unload a clip into somebody's vehicle and it would just either destroy the vehicle or stop it completely. And to me, it's cool how they're trying to get more realistic, but at the same time, it just doesn't seem like it would work out. Because let's say if you had the opposing team's money and you were trying to make it back to your base or whatever to put the money in it, somebody could unload just a full clip into the windshield of your car, it stalls, and then somebody pulls out an RPG and blows you up. And from that, it does sound like good gameplay, but at the same time, it just seems like it would be too easy to take out those 3 people with the other team's money. So, I'm not too sure how I feel about that. That's just a major concern. But that's all. Moving on to things I would hope for in the new Battlefield is about the vehicles. Increased vehicle strength if they do nerf the vehicles. Because, like I said, you don't want to have a bunch of money you worked hard to get flying across the map and whatnot, and then just die through one clip. That'll be very frustrating. What else is there? Sorry, I'm terrible at Battlefield. I actually just started. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft and Call of Duty. But other hopes, a wide variety of weaponry. I know Battlefield does have a lot of weapons and variations of customizations for those weapons. And it's really awesome right now, but I'm just hoping they would incorporate more weapons, even weapons they haven't even put in a Battlefield game before, like let's go with the stun gun. How you can just stun people and the baseball bat. Those are basically the newest weapons I've seen, and I haven't seen any other new weapons. I may be wrong. Well, the sawed-off shotgun, I guess that's new. I mean, there hasn't been any sawed-off shotguns, but I just like more weapons in the game, and it just makes it more realistic, and it just puts a whole lot of fun into the game, because not everybody would have the same weapon. It's my opinion, so don't get all pissy with me if you disagree. But yeah, moving on to my other hopes for Battlefield Hardline, I would really like to see updated graphics, because I was very heartbroken when they released Battlefield 4, and it just confused me. The graphics were very upsetting, and I didn't even know what was going on half the time. It seemed like it was a downgrade from Battlefield 3, because in Battlefield 3, it looked almost realistic, and when I played Battlefield 4, it seems like the colors were oversaturated. I don't know if they did this to lure in more people for color, but I played Battlefield 3 because of the realism in it and how it just looked really real. It was amazing, and that's one of the reasons why I played for hours on end. And what else do I hope for? A good solid campaign, like I said earlier, story development. That would be really amazing. I would like to start getting into the campaign and finding out what goes on wherever the campaign takes place. Knowing the Battlefield games, the campaign's going to take place all over the world instead of just in one state or city, because you usually travel across the world in the previous Battlefield games throughout the campaign. Alright. The maps I have on here, sorry if I'm not really playing well, I'm looking at my phone with all the notes I've taken. And, there you go. I have a list of the maps right here. I believe there's 7 maps total. If I'm wrong, sorry. There's downtown, and it says the heart of downtown Los Angeles is a jumping environment. The streets, the buildings, the cars are all open to criminals' deeds. So it seems like we're in downtown LA, and we are going to, I'm gonna guess it's a shootout, because right here it says the police have shut down the city center, and heated confrontation is about to break out. So you're probably gonna have a shootout with the police, kind of like a team deathmatch, just ordinary, regular match of that. Map 2 is called Bank Job. And money is the root of all evil. The criminals are plotting a ruthless assault on high security bank vault. So this to me kind of sounds like a heist, probably from most likely Payday 2 or Heist Releasing on GTA. But it says, but they messed up and triggered a silent alarm, and the police are jamming into the scene. Alright, so it appears to me that while you're robbing this bank, you also have to fight off everybody, like the opposing team, which are the police, and you have to make away with the money. So I think the block was actually part of the E3 demo, what they scripted. The next map is Dusk Bowl. I'm actually just going to set my character over here because I can't really play while looking off my phone. It says, the desert town of Jode is off the beaten path and well known for meth trafficking problems. The cops have had enough and are on the scene to shut them down. So this to me kind of sounds like if you ever watch Breaking Bad, or if you're a Breaking Bad fan, how Hank and Walter, before anything went down in season 1, Walter did a ride along with Hank, and they busted Jesse's partner Amelia for meth. So it's gonna be a sting operation. The next map is Hollywood Heights. A mansion high in Hollywood Hills looks ripe for a little crime. The criminals have started a wildfire in nearby hills to distract police. Do you think that'll work? So to me, this might be really cool if they actually incorporate this in the map. What I've been wanting is more natural disasters, kind of like this ship right here, just crashing onto the map. This was my favorite part of Battlefield 4 because I just love sequence events in the game that tie in with the whole match. It's just amazing, and it makes you feel like you're actually in the game. And then the next map is Grow House. The cops located an illegal underground marijuana grow operation. The cops are raiding the place, but criminals aren't going down without a fight. After all, this is precious cargo for them. So here we have another drug operation, probably an FBI or SWAT, Sting, FDA, whatever it is. And that's cool. I'm fine with that. I really love how they're incorporating all these like stories into the maps and all that. Usually it's just like how Operation Metro is. There's a train explosion or something like that. Go fight people train together. Snipers. But yeah, at least there's some story with these maps we'll be playing on, and that's awesome. I'm glad they're finally incorporating that. The next is Riptide, or Derailed. Riptide's after Derailed. But Derailed is the industrial side of Los Angeles and home to many shady dealings. The criminal ring has set up shop in the warehouse and scrapyards where they're trying to make that money from illegal doings. So, to me, it may be drug deals, illegal weapon deals, basically anything where drug dealers and all those people meet up at the train yard and just have illegal deals. Terrible like this, but the next is Riptide, and it says a drug smuggler's heaven. This high-tech, expensive island crib is being ransacked by the police. A chain of small islands is connected by bridges and waterways, providing multiple access to it. So, from that description, it reminds me of the map that I'm playing on currently in the Battlefield game. It said islands connected by bridges, and that's kind of like the explanation of this. There's islands all around, and there's bridges to get from island to island. So, I don't know the width apart from each island, but to me, that kind of just describes this map completely. And the last is Everglades. I don't know if this will be the last map on the list, but it very well could be until DLC gets pushed for that Battlefield game. And the description of Everglades is, Florida is not all sand and beaches. Deep in the heart of the Everglades, a fracking site has turned into a battlefield playground as cops and criminals wage war on each other. So this to me kind of sounds like another deathmatch, and it kind of answered my theories and concerns earlier in the video, how it's not just gonna stay. My mom walked in on me while I was in the middle of this, but like I said earlier in the video, I think that Battlefield Hardline will not just stay in one city or state. It'll be around the USA, I believe. I don't know. It may reach into Mexico or Canada. I've not dug that far, but from what I've been understanding in the map descriptions is that you can probably go as far as Florida, because Everglades does take place in Florida. So that's what I know for now on Battlefield Hardline. If you have anything to add to any knowledge I have, then go ahead and leave a comment in the description. Like the video and subscribe, and I will be posting more videos because I got upgraded audio equipment. Boom. Alright guys, peace out.